I see Simulator Adventures is in the chat. What is happening? Good evening, or in my case, afternoon. I am back after a week hiatus for Father's Day. We are back. And Simulator, let me know if you can hear me. Feel like everything's working. Feels really foreign to be back on stream. I know it was only a week off, but I don't know, just some weird stuff. Just getting back in the swing of it. How are you doing? I'm doing well. Just busy with work, busy with life, you know, the regs. Yeah. I don't know. I put the topic there in terms of the price hikes with Apple this week, which was insane but not totally unexpected. I put that as a topic, but I mean, we'll talk about whatever today. Yeah, last week was Father's Day, so for those who celebrated, you know, how was it? And yeah, I'm kind of at a loss. Like, again, I'm a little out of sorts right now because I hadn't done the stream thing in a week, and I was like, oh yeah, all this stuff is set up. How do you make a thumbnail again? Like, it's been a lot. Work has been pretty busy. This week is going to be really busy for work, but that's okay. You know, yeah. So Simulator says LOL. So I'm going to guess that my mic and everything is okay. My Tascam was disconnected. I had it with me. I was trying to do some like vlogging with this thing, the Luna Insta360. I really wish that they do a firmware update to allow this to be a webcam. Although I feel like they're not going to do an update to it because they have now they have their gimbal webcam. So like that would cannibalize sales of the webcam, because then people would just buy this and install the firmware and use this as a webcam, because on the bottom it has a is this going to work? Hey, our overhead's working. It has a 1/4-20 on the bottom of this adapter piece that just kind of clips on. So, I don't know. A guy can hope, though. Saw some amazing Osmo Pocket 3 deals at the moment. Yeah, the Amazon Prime Day week. I purposely, I was with Jason Rowe, who, you know, is a friend of mine, IRL, and I was refusing to look at Prime Day. I didn't look at Prime Day at all. I've spent some stupid money on stuff during Prime Day. Not bad stuff, but it's like, I won't even say unnecessary, but like Prime Day can get a little out of control. And to be honest, like I'm geared out and I need to like start producing videos and making that money back. So there's that. Yeah, no, I avoided Prime Day this year. But yeah, I mean, the competition's heating up between DJI and Insta360. How can DJI and Insta360 keep their prices relatively low? That's a good question. I'm gonna guess that maybe they had like when they needed RAM for their products. Like, I don't think you need to put like DDR5 in an Insta camera. So maybe they were just using slower RAM, because they don't really disclose what spec of RAM they're putting in these cameras, right? I can't imagine that the Luna Ultra has DDR5 in it. That being said, though, like the quality on this thing, once you get the iLog LUT and drop it on, is surprisingly good. But that's because we've got these Leica lenses, right? If you can see that, even has our funky Leica logo, although it would help if I put that in focus. Yeah, that's as good as that's getting. Yeah. So that's the Leica logo on the Insta360. And it sounds like a gimmick, but like the Leica stuff has always been like S tier, just super, super cool. Like the Leica lens quality is insane. Just insane. The not S5, the GH5 Mark II, the overhead camera, what's the one downfall of this camera is that it's a Micro Four Thirds camera, but it is a Leica lens. It was a Leica kit lens of all things. My granddad still uses one of the first Leica digital cameras. Yeah, Leica, I don't even know how long they've been around. They've been around for a very, very long time. It's amazing quality in 2001. I believe it. I completely believe it. Like Leica, they're a whole situation. I feel like it's them and like Zeiss and like yeah, just incredible optics, you know. I don't know much about optics and setting up your what's it called? I don't even know what the terminology is inside of a lens. I just know that like the optical quality you get out of a Zeiss lens or a Leica lens is pretty insane. Um Obviously like that's professional grade stuff, you know, you've got like big movie houses using stuff like that. And then there's probably like way other brands that I'm like totally like ignorant of that, you know, can definitely take advantage. I think it was 100 years recently. You know what? That sounds right. I feel like I read that somewhere that they were 100. We're going to Google it because that's what we tend to do on this channel is Google things. Give me 1 second. Okay, so Leica. Kevin O'Leary has answered. Why am I reading that? Leica company age. Okay, I'm just gonna 100 years of Leica. So that was last year. So they're 101. Because if this is June 20. Okay, so a couple of days ago was probably their 101st anniversary. Yeah, June 26, 2025 was 100. Today's the 28th, so quick maths, everybody. Quick maths. Yeah, so they're 101. Wow. That tracks. Their first camera was 1925, but the company is a bit older. That makes sense. I could see that. Yeah. So, who has been affected by the? I want to jump into topic a little bit, at least title topic. We'll jump back to Leica and all that stuff in a sec. But who's been affected by the AI apocalypse of hardware? I mean, we saw the Steam Machine embargo broke, and everybody's kind of underwhelmed that they promised all this stuff, but at the price point. But the price point had to change because the price of hardware changed. Then they're even talking about like some, I think AM4 motherboards are being slashed in price because like people just can't find hardware to put on it, so the boards are suffering in terms of sales pricing. You know, then obviously Apple, thus the title topic. Let's see. Simulator says, I got lucky buying a 4070 just before the price spike and a Steam Deck just before the huge price spike. Yeah. Fun fact, the M3 Max, this computer, right? So this thing right here has 128 gigs of, was it LPDDR5X? And then I have an M4 Max with 64 gigs of RAM in the studio. Crazy. Stream Deck's doubled in price and went out of stock overnight. I believe it. Incredible. These companies just seem ruthless. These AI, not AI, these RAM companies. Didn't Micron just put out a thing how they're locking in pricing? Hey, Jason Rose here. I just mentioned you. Sup, sir? Pardon me. Yeah, the Rampocalypse is stupid. Matter of fact, and Jason knows this, I'm looking at purchasing a vehicle, which is a problem because, okay, I'm kind of in a weird financial thing when it comes to a vehicle because the car I want, last year's model was a very highly stolen vehicle. So the insurance rate is really high. And then the company that makes that car said, hey, we added a bunch of security adjustments and we're not going to disclose what they are. But the insurance companies are going, well, that's a cool story, but we're not going to change our rate until you've proven that the 2026 didn't have this problem. Okay, so that means when the 2027 rolls out, if the 2026 didn't have the stolen car issue, then what's going to happen is all the rates should drop for the 2026, and the keyword is should. So let's say the 2027 model of that car comes out and the insurance rate drops. I think I'm still screwed because RAM prices. Right. I drive an ancient 2003 car, which is technically impossible to steal if anyone would even want it. See, I drove, and I'm saying past tense, a 2007 ancient car, which has a ton of mileage, or I'm in Canada, so kilometerage, has a ton of wear on it, and the price to fix it is not even worth it. And Jason, by the way, don't disclose what the car is. I'd rather keep that low. The only thing I'll say is, like, at the age of 45, the car I'm looking at, it's going to be a brand new vehicle. And everybody says, don't buy brand new. I'm buying brand new. I've never owned a brand new vehicle. And it's probably going to be the last car I buy. I say that, and then when I turn 65, I'm going to be like, well, I've had this one for 20 years. Maybe I should. I don't know why I do that voice to make fun of myself of all people. But yeah, get an aftermarket alarm. Yeah, you know what? I was looking at getting the tag tracking and all that stuff. And I mean, where I live, those cars are not really stolen. It's more like south of me. And wheel locks still work. Yeah, I have wheel locks. I had wheel locks on my last vehicle, and yeah, I mean, well, wheel locks are only really important, well, at least from my understanding. Jason knows way more about cars than I do. I don't know crap about cars. Wheel locks are important for when you have nice rims. You know, when you wake up the next day, your car's on cinder blocks and your wheels are missing. You know, wheel locks for the win. Nothing stopping people from taking it away on a truck, though, for sure. And that's the thing is, like, for me, like, I park in a garage, so I should be fine for the most part. It's really about securing the garage, especially for the long period. Like, when you're at home or sleeping or whatever, like, that's where you want it most secured. It's a gamble for anybody when you're out during the day and you have to park for any given amount of time that your car could get stolen, right? But here it's Range Rovers. It take 20 seconds to hack and drive away. I saw a thing recently. I can't remember what company it is, but there's well, a lot of people, what they're doing is they're hacking the NFC or the Bluetooth or whatever protocol the company's using to do lock, unlock, and auto start and that stuff with the key fob. But one company has it where you can put it to sleep. And I think you hold lock and the trunk button, or you hold some combination, and it basically disables the constant pinging. But then when you go to unlock it, you have to press like something similar to re-enable it, to re-engage it. Like, I think if you live in a very dense population in terms of like in the city, like really dense, and there's like all sorts of people, thousands of people crossing, you know, thousands on thousands of people crossing your residence, that would be cool. But like, you know, fuel pump cutoff switch, you'll have to tow mine. Yeah, and but that's the thing, right? Is like a simulator just said, nothing stopping people taking it away on a truck, though. You know, yeah. And Jason, like we live in Ontario, Canada, and you already know that people are. My car locks into reverse. That's funny. That's hilarious. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a super car guy. I'm just worried about the spike in prices we're about to see because of the RAM increase in hardware and silicon shortages and all that stuff. Because AI, it's more important to ask AI to do slop videos on YouTube than it is to, like, you know, keep the economy going with like selling hardware, which is crazy to me. That is insane. You know, I look at I'm also thinking like I should buy a car soon because, as we all know, you know, Adobe started this nonsense with software as a service, and unfortunately, like cars are just going to be a service. There will be lease and like rent. There won't be financing or cash purchases. Like we're going to come to a point where we're not going to own our cars, which is insane. And I feel like I want to own a vehicle. And again, if this is the last vehicle I'm going to own, then it is what it is. you know, I want something nice. I don't know if I'm gonna really disclose on the channel what it is or show it off or anything. I'm not trying to flex like that. Um, yeah, I know I have a ton of videos to get done. I need some consistency I need time and energy is what I need, but whatever. The car at the authenticate your fuel filter. Jason, I don't know what you mean. Clarification, please. Yeah. I was talking to somebody on Discord who I'm kind of not pivoting topics, but I'm like kind of all over the map. I just realized my phone is not in do not disturb. So let's fix that real quick. The reason I pull my phone out is because there's a gentleman named Robbie Hyde who has a Major League Baseball channel where he does like analysis and that kind of stuff. We're talking because he was having prompter issues. I was giving him some advice, and I told him like, hey, like we talk all the content creation, tech stuff, like come in. So I sent him the link. Whether or not he's coming, I have no idea. Yeah. Let's see here. Chats are coming in. Simulator says, I wouldn't trade mine for the world. I don't like the direction of modern car design, but there are some nice ones on the market. Jason says has to. So let me go back here. So Jason says has to, but the original message was, yeah, the car. Oh, it has to authenticate your fuel filter. Okay. Using voice and it sucks. I hear you. Me and SIRI fight constantly. And I just realized as you said that, see, Jason, this is your reminder, because Jason is infamous for this. I'm going to charge my phone because my battery's low. I didn't charge it all night last night. It's probably at like 18%, so let me juice that up. I'm not going to be using my phone during the stream, I don't think anyway, so I might as well charge it now. Jason, I'm looking at you. Do the same thing. Jason's hilarious. I will call Jason after the stream and we'll chat for a little bit, and it's like, well, it's like, 5 minutes after the stream and he's like, bro, my phone's at 4%. I'm like, charge your phone. He says dead. That's funny. What happened here? There we go. Yeah, sorry I took a couple minutes to get live. My chat widget, the thing that pops up on screen, it did something weird and I was like, why aren't you coming up now? Even though like it showed the 3 p.m. and then I went to change it to 3:05 because like someone knocked at my door and it wouldn't like change. And I'm like, what is happening? So I went to answer the door real quick and I ran back down and I'm like, all right. And then I just closed and reopened the browser and everything worked. And here we are. I know nobody asked for my life story, but here we are. Yeah. So I don't know. The Apple thing is killing me because I saw something that I could not believe. And I'm going to pull this up. Let me open Firefox. And let's see. We're going to go to Apple. We're going to go to apple.com. I'm not going to do .ca, but I want to show you guys something. TV and home. Apple TV 4K. If I go to buy, was this not $129 before? We're going to go to the Wayback Machine. I am curious. And I'm just going to go pick a day in April. Sure, we'll pick this snapshot. Let's see. I don't know how well Wayback's going to work. I feel like with everything... can you chip in? Blah, 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 blah. I don't want to shop that. I want to... That's the streaming service. Okay, you know what? We're just going to go forward a day. Come on, Apple. Load up. Okay, so this is the Mother's Day. Okay, we'll just go to shop on the Mother's Day side. Error. Fun. MacBook Neo. Watch. Trade-in. You know what? Hang on. Can I... Okay. Apple TV. Apple TV, apple.com. That would be helpful. I would like something within 2025 to 2026, maybe? Well, that did nothing. Either way, if I understand it correctly, if that's right, that means this thing went up 64%. Which, the Apple TV is kind of old. And it really needs a refresh. How are you going to drive the price up like that immediately unless a new one's like imminent? You know, Apple should be if you're going to drive the price like that, just make it out of stock entirely and drive the price up and then release a new one. Because $199 for a Wi-Fi only device with 64 gigs of storage, which nobody really uses the storage on the Apple TV. But like, that's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. The pricing, like, come on. You know what? Here, let's do something hilarious in Canadian dollars. So we are going to price a MacBook Pro with an M. We're gonna max it. Let's just max this thing out because yeah, I'm going to pick my color. I'm going to go nano texture. I'm going to go M5 Max. I'm going to go 40 core GPU, 18 core CPU. I'm going to get $3,000 for RAM. Let's do it. Okay. Storage. This is going to be gross. $4,500 for 8 terabytes of storage. That's nasty. No, I don't want Final Cut. No, I don't want Logic. No, I'm not trading in. AppleCare is still $529. So they didn't raise AppleCare, which I guess is fine, but we're going to add it. Let's add it. And everything looks good. Jesus. Oof. $15,000. And if you finance it at 7.99 APR, it's 16,000. Can we, like, oh my God. I saw some people lucked out. But you know what's crazy? I saw the other day Woot Canada M2 MacBook. Just put MacBook. Apple computers. Yeah, a lot of stuff is sold out because people, yeah, look, all the Apple stuff is sold out. Oh, the event's sold out. Okay. All hail MacBook, who shall be king thereafter? Who the hell wrote this? All right. Not as bad value as the new HP Ferrari laptop. You know what my thing is with Apple laptops? I want to check something. Let's go back. Let's go to Canada Computers. And I'm going to shop RAM, which is like, you know, enough to make a person cry. Memory cards. Where's RAM? Yeah, SSDs. I am blind. PC and server components. Wow. That would make more sense. Memory. You know, we'll go laptop memory. Just to see something here. And can I sort by... Let's go highest price for a second. Okay, so 96 gigs is $1,700. It's DDR5 at 5600 megahertz or megatransfers per second. Okay. But something I want to show you. Apple RAM spec M4 Max. Or you know what? Better yet, no. Like, we'll even go lower than that. M3 Max. Right? So they talk about memory bandwidth. What megahertz? According to Wikipedia, if this is accurate, LPDDR4 6400 memory in the M3 Max. Where is it? Memory. M3 SoCs use 6400 megatransfers per second LPDDR5 SD RAM. RAM prices are criminal plus tax, 100%. But that's crazy. This is a computer from 2023. And again, 6400 megatransfers. So now, if we're going to the Apple M4, go to RAM. Can we see the speed? LPDDR5X, 120 gigs a second. In the Pro, it's 273 and 410 gigs per second on the Bin 32 core M4 Max. That is nuts. But where is the RAM speed? Hang on. M4 Max, RAM spec, blah, blah, blah. RAM specs. Mac Tracker says, okay, so mine is 8533 megatransfers per second. I wonder if I could find a way to sell my RAM. Did any Apple Watches get price hikes? Haven't been able to check. Hey, Skirm? Okay, cool. Welcome to the channel. That is a good question. You know what? Here, let's check. Apple Watch price. I think all the Apple products got price hikes. Okay, we're not doing the AI overview. Massive increases. That's going to be their podcast. We're not going to look at that. These 15... Oh, hold on. These didn't get a price increase yet. You may also like, which ones didn't? Okay, iPhone's not surprising. Okay, so the watches haven't. Interesting. There you go. So right here. Sorry about that. Let me pull that up. Apple Watch Series 11, Apple Watch SE 3, Apple Watch Ultra 3. If Lifehacker is to be believed, then... as of June 26th, they didn't catch a price increase. So they're probably going to wait for the next line, like the Ultra 4. Or when they release the Series 12, if they don't release the Ultra right away, the Ultra 3 could get a price increase. So, God, I hate this. This is nonsense. Buy now is basically what the adage is. I assume they will after the new ones come out. Yeah, didn't Xbox just get a price increase for a 6-year-old console? So I don't think any company is immune to driving up the prices right now in terms of when they sell more units, they will. Yeah, and I agree with that. That's the problem is I saw an article that Micron... Hang on, I'm going to pull up Mac Rumors. Let's see here. Probably spelling it wrong. Yep, because I'm Canadian. Sure. Where was it? It was fairly recent. Micron suggests that Apple helped cause memory price crisis. That's a stretch. Not that we're going to put that on Jensen Huang and OpenAI and, Anthropic and Google. Not that AI... helped cause the memory crisis is a reach. In fact, Apple tried to keep it low, but this is what they're saying. We told a couple customers who were being very aggressive with pricing at that time that it's not constructive. A lot of the industry investments got shut down in 2023 because of really poor pricing and really poor margins. Micron is one of Apple's memory suppliers, providing some of the DRAM and NAND flash chips that goes into iPhones, Macs, and iPads. Apple has a reputation for getting favorable terms from suppliers like Micron through long-term purchasing contracts. Yeah, because they buy a lot of it. And then the comments came just hours after Apple unveiled a sweeping round of price hikes that touched nearly every part of its hardware lineup, products across the Mac, iPad, Apple TV, HomePod. The Apple TV being 50% more is wild. I saw the MacBook Neo went up by $100 in the States anyway. Vision Pro, like the Vision Pro is already stupid expensive. Apple even saw, 6% decrease in their stock in the same day, wiping out roughly $265 billion in market value. That is nuts. Apple CEO Tim Cook forewarned about this outcome more than a week earlier in the comments to the same publication, warning that the price increases had become unavoidable given how the company was being squeezed on memory and storage costs. Cook and Apple had been trying to shield customers from the worst of it, but it reached a breaking point, describing the shortage as a 100-year flood, unlike anything he has seen in more than 4 decades. It reminds me of the era when hard drive prices went flying up because of a flood. Hey, it's Ride. What's poppin'? We were talking on Discord. That's who I was mentioning earlier, who does the MLB analysis. I'm not a super baseball guy. Like I'll jump on the bandwagon. I live Toronto adjacent, so we're not gonna talk about last year. But yeah, Ride is in the chat because they saw my videos on Elgato Prompter, and we went back and forth on Discord about ways to set up Prompter using the workaround that I use, which is Prompt Smart Pro from the Mac App Store, which is for the iPad. The topic of Apple devices, see, I've got the M5 iPad Pro here. I've got the 128 gig M3 Max and a 64 gig M4 Max in the studio, and I'm going to renew Apple Care for as long as I can during this insane RAM price increase. Just absolutely nuts. So everybody say hi to Ride, who is in the chat. I see a few people lurking, which is fine. I don't know if Skirm is still here, but Skirm and Ride, welcome to the live stream, welcome to the channel. I know Ride's been here before. You can meet Simulator Adventures and Jason Rowe, and Duke Seb will eventually jump in. Duke makes me laugh because last week's stream, or 2 weeks ago on stream, I said we're not going to be doing one on last Sunday because of Father's Day. I got to hang out with my dad and all that, which was cool. So I said this on stream, and he acknowledged it on stream, and then I put a community post up, and then he comments on the community post with a shocked face, and I'm like, dude, I literally told you on the stream. He sends me a Discord message and a couple hours ago, like, hey, you streaming today? And I'm like, yes. And now I've been on for about half hour, and Duke still isn't here. The guy's hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of concerned about the RAM price stuff because, the AI thing kind of needs to die because at some point, sorry, I'm not to say that AI needs to die. The current hardware situation that's causing the price increases and the shortages, there needs to be a solution because at some point it's going to start affecting economy. I just had a narrative about buying a new vehicle, and it's I read part of Ride's comment just now. Let's see. May all Elgato's minions on Reddit defending their voice sync have a bad experience at the next restaurants they eat at. Yeah. Yeah. If I wanted to do rage bait content, I could basically be like, I am beholden to Elgato and I hate it. Right? Because, like, look, we have a Stream Deck. Look, an overhead camera. My desktop. Me. I use a Stream Deck. I'm using Prompter XL right now to read the chat. I've got the foot pedal. I'm using a 4K capture right now, which is that's not overheating. It feels warm though. One moment, ladies and gentlemen. Do I have it here? Probably not. Why would I have it handy? I have a digital thermometer. That feels unusually warm. Well, if the stream dies, at least you'll still get sound. Whatever. But yeah, to the comment about Elgato, Jason's laughing. The problem with Elgato is they have this monopoly, and they can be total shitheads if they want to. The updated camera hub better be good. Did you ever look at the stream where he looked at it? I did not, but should we just look at it? Was it on? I'm assuming it was on YouTube or on Twitch or both. Probably on Twitch, because whoops. Let me see here. I'm gonna pull it up and then I'll switch screens. I'm just going to Elgato's page. I'm gonna try to find it. Videos. Check out this Just Chatting stream from 2 days ago. This was about their Prime Day stuff, so it would have been before that. Let us take a look. Let's see. Where am I looking? Prime deals on Espanol. Let's go recent broadcast. Filter by past broadcast. Sort by date. Okay. Prime Day. Stream Deck Showcase. If you see the stream that you're referring to, let me know. Oh, 30328. Okay, hang on. I'm assuming 30328. Why would it let me search based on timestamp? Come on. 30328. Is that on YouTube or on Twitch Ride? Let me see. By the way, Ride, I might sound a little different than my normal videos because I upgraded the mic like a month ago. So I can get that like nice low voice and less noise in the background. I do have plugins running, mind you. Actually, I didn't even check. Oh my god, is it still running? Okay, it is. Sweet. Sorry, I just have to check something here. Okay, let's see. That's the timestamp. Oh, okay, but I'm wondering which okay, that's a timestamp, but which stream was it? I feel like you messaged me fairly recently about this. Last stream for Elgato Week. I'm gonna guess it's this one. 30328. Okay, I brought desktop audio up a little bit. Yeah, 303. I feel like this is it. Hang on.
And you could have some really cool, powerful stuff that speeds up your workflow just by having a few, and it doesn't need to be high-end cameras, right? It could be just, one webcam at the front, one webcam at the top. You could have a Stream Deck Neo, something like that, and then boom, you've got a really...
Oh, look, it's Helium. Gonna make all 5 of my PC monitors prompters XL with face, and then you're gonna complain that you're not getting good refresh rate in your games. But thanks for playing.
Really great, quick chill out about that.
Great, thank you so much. That is so kind of you. I'm really glad you enjoy our streams, and you also find them entertaining. Hopefully, also very educational. So thank you for being here.
Right, yeah. The hang on one sec. Yeah, can you you know what? Text me the link because it's not even giving me the option. Yeah, it's not even giving me the option. Send me a Discord message. I said I was going to use my phone during stream, and yet now I'm using my phone during stream. Let me pull up Discord. Yeah. Yeah, right. Just well, his name's Robbie, but the stream from May 18th. Okay, hang on. That helps. Okay, so it was more than a month ago. Ew.
Another one.
Shut up. Okay. May 18th. So we're going to go over 30 days ago. Last month. All right, so okay, I'm going to assume, is it this one maybe? You said May 18th, right? Why would you put the... You know what? I'm just going to do this live because they would have put it on YouTube as well. So stream from May 18th. Cameron Embrace live demo. Okay. May 20th. So it's before that. What's this one called? Capture and Embrace live demo. Okay. So it would probably be this one. 358. May 19th. What are you called? Elgato Week deals. Elgato Week deals. Okay. Elgato Week 330. May 18th. Okay. And our timestamp that we were looking for was 303:28. Why is this okay? Go away, chat replay. I'm going to theater mode.
You know, scroll if you want to. Right?
Why is my resolution down to like nothing? What is happening here? Okay.
Like it just scrolls. Like Thomas said though in the video, we've actually been working on a new refreshed version of Elgato Voice Sync. And this is using a custom in-house trained model. It currently in this alpha, and what you're seeing today is English only. We'll have more news to share on that, obviously, once this is released in the future. And it is a lot better. So let's try this. So I'll set it to voice sync, and I'll just hit go here. Elgato Studio.
By the way, right, I think I got the right one. I think I'm looking at it now. So let's see. Let's see if Phil fumbles. Get it? Because fumble and Phil. Okay, I'll leave.
The 1.1 is out for Mac and PC, and this is, oh, you know, I probably, oh, there we go. And this is a feature packed.
See, just starts the demo and it fails. Okay, all right, whatever.
PC, and this is, oh, you know, I probably, oh, there we go. And this is a feature-packed update. HDR recording, new quality controls, a redesigned layout, and new supported capture formats for 4K Pro. Let's dive in. First, HDR recording. You can now capture exactly what you're seeing on screen. Richer colors, deeper shadows, highlights that don't clip. This is Windows only for now and requires a compatible Elgato capture device and a GPU that supports HDR encoding. HDR recordings use H.264 AV1, which brings us to the next feature.
Why is he speeding through it? Matter of fact, you know what?
And you have the then Thomas said though and want to, right? Like
I'm gonna be that guy. I'm going to be that guy. They, instead of trying to develop it in-house, just buy the stupid Prompt Smart software. Oh, things that make me angry. Okay, you know what? Just hang on. Prompt Smart Pro. I'm just going to make a new document here and bring you in. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to do this. I'm just going to copy all of this. I'll type the word feature after. Whatever. It's fine. New document. FU fill is what we're going to call it. Okay, and I'm going to add my story, and I said I'm going to add the word feature. And again, I'm currently using the microphone, but here. I'm just going to read this off the screen. It's already activated, right? So like, look, let's just read this. First, HDR recording. You can now capture exactly what you're seeing on screen. Richer colors, deeper shadows, highlights that don't clip. This is Windows only for now, you motherfucker. This is Windows only for now and requires a compatible Elgato capture device and a GPU that supports HDR encoding. HDR recordings use H.265 or AV1, which brings, and you see, like, I kind of coughed there, so let's go back. HDR recordings use H.265 or AV1, which brings us to and I messed up because I read at the wrong spot. Start here. This is Windows only for now and requires a compatible Elgato capture device. I'm going to whisper the rest of this. And a GPU that supports HDR encoding. HDR recordings use H.265 or AV1, which brings us to the next feature. Okay, that's a little bit difficult for this thing to do correctly, but yet Windows 98 text-to-speech was popping. Why so fast? Right? And this is the thing. This is why Robbie reached out on Discord, because, like, just don't cuss, don't cuss, don't cuss, don't cuss. I want to swear so bad. Why can't Elgato just buy the stupid company? Like, honestly, hey, you know what? Here, we're gonna make this a little more challenging. Here, let's have some fun. Okay, hang on. Let me see what other nonsense they put in the stream.
One is out for Mac and PC, and this is oh, there we go. And this is
Phil, you don't, there are instances where box seal broken, knife marks, derp. Anyway, can y'all tell I'm not a fan of this company, and yet I still buy products from them? Oh my god, the things that are gonna make me cuss this stream. Jeez. Anyway,
it's a feature-packed update. HDR recording, new quality controls, a redesigned layout, and new supported capture formats for 4K Pro. Let's dive in. First, HDR recording. You can now capture exactly what you're seeing.
I love it. The note. The stupid AI can't figure out that that's a note. He literally, that's what they're trying to show off here. Anyway.
Being on screen. Richer colors, deeper shadows, highlights that don't clip. This is Windows only for now and requires a compatible Elgato capture device and a GPU.
Anybody else think it's a little disjointed that, like, he's looking off screen but he's using a teleprompter? Couldn't they just, you know, put the teleprompter in front of him and then have him look at the teleprompter, and then this other camera that's showing the prompter could kind of show the behind the scenes? Because, like, maybe this is a nitpick, but the whole purpose of Elgato is to, like, support people in terms of the behind the scenes sides of content creation. What about this suggests behind the scenes besides this one frame? I don't know. Someone there needs their head shake.
GPU that supports HDR encoding. HDR recordings use H.264 AV1, which brings us to the next feature, quality options. You can see it also keeps up much better, even if I go really fast. You can also jump forward more reliably. So if I say, format gives you 3 codec choices. H.264 for maximum.
Are we serious? Phil, seriously? Can we play this back?
It gives you 3 codec choices. H.264 for maximum.
It works! It works! You're a dumbass. You know what Jason, you're saying scripted. Here's the problem. That's the script. But, like, okay, let's play this again. Hang on.
Format gives you.
So he says.
You can also jump forward more reliably. So if I say.
So you can also jump forward more reliably. So he's going to start at the word format, I think. So let's play it.
Format gives you 3 codec choices. H.264 for maximum.
You can jump forward. Jason, you wrote scripted. No. My guess is they think they're above Prompt Smart Pro. Can I be completely honest? I don't give myself a lot of credit. I think it's out of spite now. I think because, like, I've raked them over the coals in multiple videos. Oh, I don't want to mention his name. if you watch the Elgato videos, specifically about the Stream Deck XL Plus or Plus XL, or the flip they're calling the stupid thing, I mentioned early on that I had an affiliate code. Somebody who is an affiliate with Elgato reached out because of my difficulties with Prompter. It's story time with Tech Mixer. So this gentleman reached out to me, and he asked me if I would want a bigger Stream Deck. And I was like, that would be amazing. Like an XL with knobs like the Plus. Where was he looking? Why not in front? Exactly what I was saying, Jay. Jay, I think you're a little bit behind, by the way. That's what my question was, is like, if you're going to demonstrate a teleprompter, I'm using a teleprompter right now. Even in my video, in my messy ass basement, I had the wherewithal to put a tripod back here and show me reading from the... Moving on. Anyway, so story time, Sean, from Tech Mixer. So, talking to this guy who built like this plugin, which is supposed to help with the voice sync and some of the other problems with Camera Hub. And I applaud his efforts. I'm not going to mention his name. I just mentioned his name. You know what? I don't care. I'm at a point. I don't give a shit anymore. Whatever. His name's Hero Vibes. He's an affiliate. I totally doxed him. My bad. He's a nice guy. Let me be clear. Don't go live after 2 weeks. You're going to get yourself in trouble. Although I don't think I'm going to get in trouble. So he reaches out, and God bless him for reaching out. And I mean that because his intention was to make it easier. I can't believe I said his name by accident. I was going to say Ride, and I mentioned it to Ride, and I wasn't going to say it on stream, but whatever, who cares. He reached out, and I asked him if he had an affiliate code. I believe. I can't remember the whole dialogue between him and I on Discord. I can look it up, though. I believe I asked him if he had an affiliate code, because my thing is that content creation is not easy. And that's not just, I'm not just talking about myself. I think for anybody, which is why Ride has said ultimately that he's not very technical. He doesn't know much about tech, but Ride's channel looks dope. Like Ride does baseball analysis, edits in Final Cut, trying his best. And honestly, your stuff looks good. So I applaud it. And I think that content creation is kind of grueling in terms of like getting things right. So my thing is that he had asked me if how I like the Stream Deck XL. And I'm like, I actually love the Stream Deck XL. Like this thing, I enjoy. Now, to his credit, he wouldn't tell me because obviously he knew something about the Stream Deck Plus XL at the time, but he wouldn't tell me. He's like, you might be excited about Elgato's got some stuff coming up. I can't really talk about it. I was like, all right, cool. Right. And I kind of left that there. But then when it came out, I reached out to him and I said, hey, you got an affiliate code? Not necessarily for the discount. It wasn't even about a discount. It was to get him an affiliate sale, right? Because, support each other, right? Like he was good enough to reach out to me when I was having problems with Prompter's voice sync. To like, it was like some JSON hack or something. I don't even remember, to be honest, JSON being like the file type that, or some derivative of the file type that Camera Hub uses to manage the scripts. So I put the videos out about my frustration about the packaging being open. And I did tell him like, hey, just a heads up, this happened. And he was like, that's weird. Homie has been radio silent with me since. I get it. But at the same time, I don't blame him. That would be like... Okay, the best analogy for this would be like if Jason Rowe, who's in chat, who I know IRL, had a friend, a female friend, and I started dating said female friend. And that female friend cheats on me. And I decide to not talk to Jason Rowe anymore. What did he have to do with it? With the exception, of course, is if she cheated on me with Jason Rowe. But you get what I'm saying. it's kind of stupid. Like, I don't think that Hero Vibes did me any dirty. I just thought it was kind of telling because we had a very good conversation. I thought that a good friendship was going to come out of it because we talked about a lot more than just Elgato. Talked about some of our content creation challenges and that kind of stuff. So that was a little disheartening. But Ride kind of made a comment earlier in the chat, which made me kind of laugh and think about all this, which was, and sorry, Hero Vibes, if you ever see this, may all Elgato's minions on Reddit defending their VoiceSync app. VoiceSync have a bad experience at the next restaurants they eat at. Kind of putting Hero Vibes in that category. Not because I don't like you, but because like your actions speak louder than any words we had in our like 2-3 hour conversation. So that's disheartening. I'm telling this story because like Elgato is just so they're arrogant. They like it's weird. They have like Apple levels of arrogance, but don't deserve Apple level. Even Apple doesn't deserve Apple levels of. They don't deserve the right to be the level of arrogant they are. But Elgato is. I couldn't give 7 nor 1 shit about what I say about Elgato because I'm never gonna work with them unless they make like a 180 change, and I truly believe in it. But I also think that I owe it to the people who watch the channel. And even the small community, and even though I love this small community of people who come on the Sundays when I'm streaming to talk, I owe it to them. I owe it to you that I'm going to tell you the truth. The sad reality is that I end up buying these Elgato products because they cornered the market on it. But I don't like the fact that like Prompter XL I've had for over a year. Is it over a year? No, it's coming up on a year. Sorry. And original Prompter. And as of right now, these idiots just put this in, and I'm going to zoom this, alpha early preview. And he's trying to show off features, and it's still failing miserably. Let's play this back.
Format gives you fast. You can also jump forward more reliably. So if I say format gives you 3 codec choices. H.264 for maximum. Okay, maybe I jumped a little bit too forward there. Dial it back if storage is tight.
Still failing. You suck.
Okay, so that one isn't doing it. But typically what we found is that you can jump ahead quite a bit more if you want to skip lines. You have the same thing there. You just select your mic and you select your language here, and then you have your reading position. The really cool thing about VoiceSync 2.0 is it works on NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, Mac, and
did he not just say this is Windows only? Anybody else catch that? I could have sworn. What's our timestamp? Hang on. I need to pull this back. 303:28. 305:23 is when he made the Mac comment. So 303.
Like it just scrolls. Like Thomas said though in the video, we've actually been working.
Oh, it's right here. This is Windows only for now. Okay. Sure, Phil. Whatever you say, dumbass.
Intel, Mac, and NVIDIA is it works on NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, Mac, and presumably also ARM systems. We're still optimizing and we're still working on this, but essentially anyone will be able to use VoiceSync. Not just those of you with NVIDIA RTX GPUs or M1 Mac-based systems. So that's like the biggest new GPUs or M1 Mac-based systems.
Look, Anaya Print. Anaya Print is all over Elgato. Already reported to developers. Anaya Print's been in this stream. That's funny. Let me see. I wonder what some of the people in the chat on Elgato's stream, if they're just like totally Elgato fan people, and they're just like they can't do anything wrong. Anyway, I digress. Phil gets roasted for failing voice sync in angry video from YouTuber. So Phil decides to pull out Alpha, say inaccurate information saying that it works on Mac, even though his script that he's reading says it only works on Windows, and then bombs again. I don't know. Shit sounds pretty stupid. That's where I'm at with that. Lord. Although none of this seems to matter, because at the rate that RAM prices are rising, nobody's going to be able to afford hardware to do this content creation anyway. Yeah. I don't know. Kind of disheartening. By the way, Robbie, if you're texting me in chat or in Discord, I am not seeing it because I am doing stream and got the phone in D&D. So, yeah. So anyway, that's kind of my feelings on Elgato and the stupidity of what they're doing. To be completely honest, I have such a bad taste in my mouth over Elgato that, like, even if they release the Voice Sync 2.0, I'm not using it, because PromSmart, as you just saw, works perfectly fine. Yeah, I don't know. Anybody seen Duke Seb? Has he come in yet? Most Elgato products have free/open source alternatives, just requires more effort. 100%. Well, I'm like the other, the alternatives that I'm using. Like, I paid for PromSmart Pro because, like, you also get it on your iPad as well. You know, I get however many Apple devices that it's A, compatible with, and B, that they allow. So PromSmart just made sense. I wonder if these open source alternatives require less powerful systems. Possibly, because I don't know what other junk they're putting into Camera Hub. If you're not gaming, you can stream on anything, basically. Yeah, and you know, but here's the thing: is like something like the prompter software. It's definitely, it's dumb that it's in the Camera Hub software, because that Camera Hub software is trying to do like 17 things at once. Like, just make it its own software, right? Like, I don't understand the rationale, but I also don't work at Elgato, so there might be a reason. They stuffed the whole thing into this suite. And it's like, yeah, even Microsoft, as weird as they've been lately, they have the wherewithal to say, like, okay, well, Microsoft Word will have its own application. Excel will have its own application. You know, PowerPoint, its own application. Apple didn't stuff like Logic Pro, even though they have Creator Studio as a bundle, the apps are separate. So, like, it's not like Logic Pro and Final Cut are the same app. You know, it's really clunky to do it that way from both, I would say, a developer standpoint, because that's got to be annoying. If you make a change to one thing or a bunch of things and you could break other things in the process. You know, if they change something in prompt in the voice sync thing, it could break something else with like the face cam, because you have to use Camera Hub, you know. But also, like, from a user standpoint, that's annoying. You know, like, I have to do a software update. Okay, I do a software update and it broke something else that I was using. So, you know, we have powerful enough computers that we could run more than one app at a time. It's like Elgato should like really embrace that. It's crazy. The AI thing's kind of nuts. I don't know. Anybody in the chat own an Apple TV 4K? I think that is hilarious that price went up. Yo, I'm here. Time to start the stream. I should just end the stream. I've been on for an hour. Duke, I swear you don't pay attention. I made fun of you earlier in the stream. I'm going to do it again. Now that you're here, I'll do it again. I told you 2 weeks ago that I was going to take this stream offline last Sunday because Father's Day. You replied with, okay. I then put up a community post saying, hey, stream will not be up last Sunday due to Father's Day. You reply with a shock face, and I replied to you, hey, told you during the stream, bro. Then you text me on Discord. Sure. You text me on Discord today asking if the stream's up. And I'm like, yeah, I told you this earlier in the week. I didn't put a community post up. Sorry, I was at the museum. No, you're all good. I don't care about you being late today. It's funny that like leading up to this that you're like, that's why I'm like, I swear you don't pay attention because like on multiple ways, I said, yes, the stream is happening today. It's all good. How's Duke doing? I don't know how the weather is in your part of the woods, but it is pretty damn hot outside. It's only going to get hotter this week, which is the perfect way to bring in July in Ontario, Canada. Usually the hottest month of the year, so there's that. I don't know if Hassan is kicking around, because I feel like this is like the kickoff to winter. Sorry, what did you just say? Nyok, nyok, nyok. You're hilarious. Yeah. Well, I asked you how the weather was, but I know what the joke was about. Sorry, what did you just say? Fog season. Yeah. Simulator, how's the weather where you are? Because I believe you're in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I don't know if Ride is still here, but yeah, basically we come on here and we just talk about tech and other nonsense in the world. My thing is, if you have an Apple device, hold on to it for as long as you can. Like, I have a 16 Pro Max iPhone. I don't have the MacBook Neo anymore, which is fine. It's pretty good here. Still gardening season, Duke, or you're done for that, or you did that earlier in the year, or about a month ago, or whatever it was. Yeah, it's getting stupid hot here. So, yeah, we were actually just yelling about Elgato and how Ride got me on this whole thing where there's one hell of a delay on chat today. There is. So this is weird. On my iPad, I'll be gardening until the fall. Okay. I feel like when Duke called this out, it fixed itself. But yeah, there was a major delay on my iPad versus what was showing up on my chatbot. It could be the plugin I'm using for the chat if I'm taking a while to respond. Let me see. Can I pull this up? I want to see I want to see if there's like a major delay between the iPads. Somebody type something. Let's see here. Jason says, yup. Simulator says, hello. Okay, so I don't know if YouTube's having a problem because I noticed like I was in the middle of story time and nobody said anything. And I was like, am I still here? Hello. According to OBS, I haven't dropped any frames. Duke says I'm typing. Okay. Here, what I'll do is I'll trigger the chat as soon as I see it coming on my end. So Duke says I'm typing. That's the last message I got. This is what I get for not streaming for a week. Just everything's out of sorts. Just got the Stream Deck Pedal 2. I'm going to be honest, I've had slight panic attacks at the end of streams because I moved the end stream button from Stream Deck to the pedal and I forgot. Jason says, boom, that was 21 seconds. The problem is, yeah, there's something going on with chat because a whole bunch of messages just came at once. It's like, it's not. Let me double check something. Is this set to, yeah, it's set to live chat. Jason says 5 seconds. Sorry, I switched off, so that one doesn't count. Okay, from right now, I'm not going to change anything. Somebody type something, and I'm just going to hit it and read it the second I see it. Okay, so let's see. Waiting. Somebody should have typed something by now. Hi, boom. Okay. On my end, it's popping up fast on the iPad. Like I'm watching the stream playback on the iPad. Ride says smile, or I think it's a smile. Something, Duke says. 5 seconds. 5 seconds ain't bad. I'm not checking. 5 seconds ain't nothing. But I did notice like a few of the messages were coming in earlier in like clumps, which is not normal. Normally it's like one at a time. But I don't know if YouTube's having an issue today or something. I'm surprised I have as much as 7 people watching right now because like it's summer adjacent. You know, in most 24 seconds. Duke, it's your end. Try reloading the stream. Because Jason says it's 5. I'm noticing it's pretty fast. You know. Like in terms, and I can tell because like when I triggered the chat, it's like where you wrote 24 seconds, I could see it on screen here when I triggered it. So that gives me a good like roundabout time because and also this iPad's on Wi-Fi. This is not directly connected to Ethernet. So, I mean, it's getting it from YouTube. It's not getting it from my local like network, as it were. So I get lag and restart the stream on restarts on YouTube streams occasionally. Yeah, it was about 5 seconds from round trip to Read Simulator. Sorry, let me reread that because that was a miss. It might be browser plugins or something else, not sure. Okay, let me start back here. I get lag and restart stream restarts. Tell me when you get this. No, I will not. I'm reading. I get lag and restart stream. Restarts on. It's better. All right. Okay, I'm going to try to Read Simulator and then we'll go back to testing. I can't test and do all this at the same time. Okay, that was fast. 4 seconds. Sure. Yeah, that's got to be something going on with YouTube. Because I'm not like... I want to see here. CPU usage. I'm using 17% of a thread and 25% of my GPU. Yeah, it's not me. Everything seems okay. No, I restarted the app now. It's 4 seconds. Yeah, so it was your end. Okay. Okay, let me catch up here. Let me try this again. I get lag and restart stream. Restarts on YouTube stream. I'm assuming you mean you restart on YouTube streams occasionally. It might be browser plugins or something else. I'm not sure. And that's probably on your end. Duke says, when you get this. Jason says it's better. Okay, that was 4 seconds. Simulator, I wrote a really bad sentence there. I wasn't thinking properly. Duke says, no, I restarted the app. Now it's 4 seconds. Okay. So it could be a myriad of things. It could be YouTube acting up because, like I said, there was a bunch of chats that just flew in and I'm like, what the hell just happened? I'm going to do it on screen because that flexing of a speed test is just a flex. I just want to see what my latency is to Bell Canada. 0 millisecond. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's fine. Why is computers are going nuts today? Now I'm getting the stupid notification thing about OBS notifications. It didn't look. What is the increase on the Apple TV? Okay, we need to pull historical pricing. I'm gonna pull this back up. Apple TV pricing or price Wayback Machine. Okay. Oh, Camel will have it. Okay. Okay, so we'll go back this year. It's at $199 right. Oh my god. Okay, well that's annoying. Hang on. Price increase Apple TV. The 54.6 price increase is out of proportion. Yeah. Oh, it's 67. Yeah, I did the math earlier based on what I thought was 129. 129.00 divided by 199.00. Period 00 would help. 64.8% is the increase on the Apple TV, Duke. It's always been around. Yeah, it's $199 now, which is insane. Yeah, Apple TV takes the biggest hit in Apple's latest price hike. Yeah, 67%. It was $129, now it's $199. This is US pricing, obviously. Yeah, it's insane. I have one upstairs. I have one for the home theater. I'm pointing this way because it's my home theater rack's over here. My mom has one. The old one is still there, but that one's like basically dead. I have an NVIDIA Shield 2019. I'm surprised at the subscriptions. They may be low of subscribers. I get what you're getting at, Duke. You're not wrong. But I don't think that Apple... They're not trying... Like, I think they know that they're an add-on to something like a Netflix. Because I feel like people are not going to subscribe to just Apple TV. And I think Apple knows that based on the kind of content they put out. Like, you might watch, what's the stupid show called? The, with Adam Scott. What is the stupid show called on Apple TV? But there's like the morning show and a bunch of other ones. There's like the F1 movie and that kind of stuff. And like Severance. Yes. Thank you, Duke. Severance. Yeah. Like the kind of content that Apple puts out, I don't think they care. I think they're like, well, should we do Tim Cook for this? We might as well milk the Tim Cook thing while he's still in place. Oh man, this wig is itchy. But we're doing it. We don't care if people subscribe to our product because we know that we just make things that you might watch sometimes. Buy product, please. We're hemorrhaging RAM and shares. Okay, this wig is itchy. This is coming off. I don't know why I still have the wig and the glasses out from that stream. That near 3-hour record stream. Yeah. I don't know. The Apple TV price increase is nuts. The MacBook Neo made sense because that was super aggressive. I want to see your Craig. I don't know if that's appropriate on stream. No. I don't even know where it is. I had a brown wig, which I did that on the WWDC 24 parody video when I was like, thanks, Craig. We have a budget here at Tech Mixer for costumes. Like, it's, where Craig Federici is smiling at randomness. That's like terrible. Yeah, Federini or however you spell it. Federici. I think, whatever. Yeah, I knew what you meant, Duke. For those who don't know, I did a video that was so stupid. Incredibly stupid. I am very aware of how stupid the video is. I'm going to pull it up. If Apple was honest. Okay, there it is. So I did this monstrosity called WWDC If Apple Was Honest.
Who's fired up?
Is it? No, it's not the same wig. And everything just explodes when they fly out of the side. One of my favorite parts of this video, I'll just play it quick. Where is it? There's a lot of banger, funny stuff in this video. Yeah, I think it's here.
Like it would.
I gotta watch an ad on my own video? Here, I'll just turn off the sound. That's fun. We'll wait for the ad to end. Oh, good, it's car ads, because, like, YouTube knows I'm trying to buy a car. It's not stupid unless you get sued. You are not wrong. It's not dumb if it works, right? Oh, yeah, I did put the AI label on this video. Because I basically green screened myself onto a terribly keyed out background.
This place. Google's app. Make you upgrade to a new phone sooner.
Okay, so the running joke in this was that Tim Cook would randomly pop up in the video and be like, shares, and then I played it on a kazoo. to try to pitch my voice. But anyway.
Than ever. Your phone and force you to upgrade to a new phone sooner than ever. Also, we've reimagined the Photos app, making it clunkier than ever, like it wasn't a hot mess in the first place. Craig, that's not a positive note. Stop smiling. I'm not smiling. That's it for I.
I'm such an idiot. Yeah. Duke, did you not? I thought when you made the comment, I want to see your Craig, I thought that you were referring to this video. Ride says little. I don't think I've seen that. Enjoy that video. Here, I'll throw the link in the chat. Hang on. One sec. No, I meant the hair. Oh, man. Yeah, that video was hilarious. Here, well, a little bit of echo. At the moment, there shouldn't be. Maybe from the computer. Because the computer, it's the way that this is wired. Because I never played desktop audio on stream. Should be okay now. I'm going to pin this message. Okay. So at the top, the iPad just tripped out. That is fun. Yeah, when playing video on the computer. Yeah, because I don't normally play video on the computer. I should mute my mic when I play the video, but I don't have that shortcut set up on my Stream Deck. Yeah. So yeah, because you're getting the speaker. Oh, I should just turn down my speaker. That would just make life easier. I'm a streamer. Anyway, no, Duke, I thought you were referring to the WWDC video. That's why I was like, let me pull this up, because I did a whole video making fun of Apple's WWDC 24 when they announced Apple Intelligence, which I lovingly called an oxymoron in my best Tim Cook impression. Yeah. Are you using OBS? I am. Yes, I am. So are you running developer iOS? No, so here was the problem. The summer, right around WWDC, this is just the way my work is. I get into some pretty heavy projects where like I can't have my phone fail. So unfortunately, I don't have like a alternate device that I could run a developer iOS on. And I can't afford for things to go missing and that stuff right up until like September, October. So to me, there's like no point. Yeah, it doesn't look like much. I think it's a very, there's a feature. Hey, I'll read yours in a sec. Duke says, doesn't look like it's much in it anyway. It looks like it's a big bug fix. It's like Snow Leopard back in the day for macOS. Like it's just a big maintenance release with some features. Although, like, AirPods get, like, an EQ now, which is hilariously good. I think there's a feature on there somewhere that prevents that echo from desktop audio. Yes, but I don't think it'll work with the audio interface because I am using the Tascam FR-AV2 to bring the audio into stream. I don't think OBS likes doing that filter stuff. I'm stoked about updating Apple TV from the Home app. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. There's some stuff, like, they're doing some cool stuff. I feel like they're answering a lot of the critique. Like, obviously, they turned down the liquid glass stuff in iOS and macOS. However, there's still some stupidness with the iPad that blows my mind that they haven't addressed. Like, there's certain UI elements that has, like, an X on screen to get out of things, but it only works if you tap the screen. If you have the Magic Keyboard like I have right here, it doesn't work at all. And I'm like, really, guys? Like, you gave us a mouse cursor, but I can't hit the X to close certain things. And then, like, other weirdness, like if I'm going to switch to my iPad so you guys can see what I'm talking about, which for some reason is not showing up. Why are you not showing up? This is being weird. I think it timed out. Oh, wait. External mirroring on. Come on, come back. Come back. Oh, I was in the wrong scene. I'm ridiculous. Okay, so look at this. If I go up to the corner, you get this, and you get the traffic light thing. But the problem is, oh, it does it fine on stream. I give up. Half the time I can't click that stupid, like, traffic light symbol thing. So it just, sometimes the iPad just does what it wants. Little things that bother me on the iPad is like I have an escape key. If I'm watching YouTube on it and I want to hit the escape key with the Magic Keyboard connected, it doesn't like get out of full screen. The gestures are weird. The shortcuts make no sense because Command Q and Command W are flipped on iPad versus Mac OS, except when it comes to Safari. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? I digress. I just some of my bugaboos about about macOS in general. So I wish I could update to the newer like developer builds, but I can't risk it. Especially in August. August is like there's no way I'm risking it because I need my phone. Like I can't have my phone just like go offline or whatever because of a bad iOS update. Yeah. I should really buy another device for this type of stuff, but like, I feel like there are more important things to spend my money on right now that aren't like super RAM inducing, like a car before the RAM prices start affecting automobiles. And I think if anything, my wild prediction is before we start seeing like major change with the way RAM prices are, it's going to take something like the automotive industry to move that needle because they tend to move the needle for a lot of things. Like if it skyrockets prices, like we all know that the car industry is such a massive part of the economy. It's usually fine after the fourth developer beta. The battery is always the part that isn't optimized. 100%. Yeah. But I've been reading on Reddit, like I do keep up with it. And I read that people are saying that their battery life's actually been really good, which is nice to hear. My 16 Pro Max, I think, has a 90% battery capacity left. I've had it was a launch 16 Pro Max. Yeah, like I mean, I still have Apple Care on it, so if it like dips under 80, which I don't think it's going to anytime soon anyway, it'll dip under 80 right in time for like the iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max to come out and the iPhone Ultra. That'll be when it goes under. But I'm just gonna keep renewing Apple Care because I'm not buying another iPhone this year. That's not happening. I'm on an iPhone 13 Pro Max. Just swapped the battery a couple weeks back for a replacement from iFixit. That's dope. That's cool. Yeah, swapping batteries in the phone to hold longevity is great. Didn't Apple just have a hack? I think it was like iPhone 11, the studio display, and some of the iPads had like a irreversible USB exploit. So if your phone gets stolen, things could get like taken off your phone, except for anything that was stored in Enclave, like your iCloud password and your secure Enclave, like the iCloud password and stuff like that. And they said it's basically unfixable because it's at a hardware level. And I'm like, I guess a firmware flash wouldn't fix it, but who knows? But the 13 Pro Max, it's a great phone. I had that phone for a while. I actually traded that phone up, and I'm glad I did because I want to say like 2-3 weeks later, the trade-in value went down, but I put it towards my Apple Watch Ultra 2. Yeah, Ultra 2. So because my Apple Watch 4, like it was dying at random, and plus like in Canada where I live, it gets cold in the winter. And I remember I fully charged my Series 4, went out, I was out the whole day. It was like frigid temperature outside. Frigid, I say frigid. It was like minus 20 Celsius. And I went out, I was in the car all day. I was outside for probably about like 5 minutes. And then when I looked at my watch again, I was at like 22%. And then it died like shortly thereafter. And I was like, yeah, this thing's toast. Speaking of Apple Watch, what do you think of them obsoleting the whole line? They're not going to. They have too much They have too much ecosystem integrated into it because you've got like Apple Fitness Plus, you've got now that they're doing 5G connectivity, cellular, what is it? 5G satellite? But they did. What are you talking about? No, they didn't. Oh, no, Duke, you have that wrong. They didn't obsolete all of them, not the whole line. They obsoleted like a ton of them, but not all of them. They obsoleted, like, it was aggressive. Apple Watch obsolescence. Let's see. Yahoo Tech. Many watches will become obsolete after the update. See the full list. Yeah, so like 9 is still supported, 10 is still supported. Any future Apple Watch, including Ultra models, could have a number of entries on the horizon. But yeah, like they went hard. I can't believe the first Apple Ultra Watch got obsoleted. This is all in the name of Apple Intelligence. I know, but everything like 3 of them. Yeah. Sorry, when I read your comment, the way you wrote it, speaking of Apple Watch, we think of them obsoleting the whole line. It sounded like you meant like them just stopping to support Apple Watch entirely. But yeah, like they went off. I mean, yeah, like my Series 4 was dropped a while ago. I think this is crazy though. When did Ultra first generation come out? Apple Watch Ultra first generation release date. Shit. Not even 4 full years. Introduced in September 2022. Yeah. It didn't even make it 4 years. Based on how Apple updates things and holds on, that is surprising. It's stupid about the 8 and the same processors as the 9. Yeah. That's insane. That is that's wild because Apple's pretty good. Like your 13 Pro Max was from 2021. I know this because I had a launch iPhone 13 Pro Max that I got in September 2021. I actually got that iPhone 13 Pro Max when I got fiber. It was like in the same 2 to 3 month period. Yeah, and like you're still getting updates on your 13 Pro Max, and we are entering the 5th year of that phone being out, and you're still gonna have software updates. But the watch, what was the starting price on Apple Watch? Hang on. Apple Watch Ultra first generation pricing not launch. Okay, I know the AI 399 each. Did somebody say? Okay, I don't know what that's about. Okay, in 2023 from $799. That's US dollar. This is an article from 2023. Wow. You didn't even make it 4 years. That is incredible. For Ultra One? No. We're talking Ultra One. Look, this article is from 2023, and the best ever price back then was $629 for the Ultra. Okay, I mean the regular one. Well, yeah, the regular. No, but Duke, I don't think you get what I'm driving at. Apple Watch Ultra, and it's under 4 years from release, and it's an expensive product, got EOL'd by the new update. EOL'd being end of life. That's incredible. Okay, wait, the latest. Let me go back here. So Series 9 is still good, but let's look at Series 8. What's our launch price? Canadian starts from 529. So, okay. So 399. Okay, so Duke, you were close. Yes. Yeah, 359. It was like 399. But even still, that debuted. This article, I'm assuming, was right around launch time. September 7th, 2022. We haven't even hit the 4-year mark. That's insane. Yo, like, Apple is acting like Elgato almost. Whoa, there's a lot of comments here. Girlfriend just found her Apple Watch Series 8 that she stopped using. I was thinking of getting the Whoop to track help, but honestly, I may just use this. Yeah, but look at the 8. It's only 2 years old. What? What do you... Hang on, Duke. Hold on. The Series 8. Duke. No, the 8 is not 2 years old. Here. Again, Apple Watch debuts Apple Watch Series 8 starting at $399. September 22, 2022. Duke. No, you're right. I felt like it was 2 years old. No, man, it's older. But even at not even 4 years, that's still wrong. I mean, this is my subjective opinion that if Apple is so keen on talking about how they are environmentally conscious and that these things can get support, for longer periods of time, end of lifing a device after not even a full 4 years is incredible. On top of that, raising the price, which, let me be clear, contrary to what Micron says, I don't think it's Apple's fault that the RAM crisis is what it is, because they're basically trying to take the ownership of the RAM crisis away from AI companies. So that's kind of that article is just to get clicks, if I'm being completely honest. But unfortunately, Apple, they're just going by okay. Let me be clear. I'm also not defending Apple's pricing. There was a period, maybe I'm a little sweet on it, that Apple, when the RAM increases started a while ago, that Apple tried to insulate their customer base. I wonder if this is a Turnus philosophy. I don't know. It feels very supply chain Tim Cook, because Tim Cook is very, we need shares. We need to get you to buy shares. Like, they're very, like, Apple, Tim Cook Apple is very finance based. Turnus, we don't know a lot about him outside of the hardware stuff. I still feel like, and I said this on a stream before, but I'll say it again. I feel like, remember, Turnus was the same one who went on stage and announced $1,000 stand for the Pro Display XDR. And I feel like Tim Cook was in the back going, let's initiate him. You're going to go out there and announce the price of the stand, Mr. Turnus. Shares. Like, I feel like they basically initiated John Turnus with the but if he's a hardware guy, he might not want to deal with old devices. Yeah, but Duke, I get what you're saying, but that negates an entire company beneath him. He's not going to be, like, he has to answer to a board of directors. He has to answer to shareholders. He has to answer to, it's not about, like, not wanting to deal with old devices. Like, you got to remember something, is that Apple built themselves up on customer satisfaction. And I say that in the Tim Cook voice on purpose. That's one of their pillars in their keynotes about customer satisfaction and longevity. The last thing they want is that customer. Tim Cook's Apple did. We don't know what's to come for sure. But that being said, I want you to think about this, though. That customer satisfaction survey, that narrative is usually taken from in-store experience. So, like, you will go to an Apple store and buy, like, a phone case or something. And then they ask you if you want to email the receipt or whatever. So they take your email down. And then, like, a week later, you get a survey. And that's probably how they're establishing their customer satisfaction metric. Here's a problem with that, though. Let's say you weren't super techy and you have your iPhone 13. When was the last time you had a good Apple Store experience? I tend to. I've actually been pretty lucky with them, to be honest. Service is a different story, but in store has been pretty good. At least where I live, like they seem like they're pretty on the ball at the stores that are near me. But check this out. So you have an iPhone 13 Pro Max, and you're not a techie. So now you go in, and they're like, okay, so you're having a problem with I don't know, cell reception. Like your phone needs a carrier update, but you don't know, and it's not prompting you. So in a hypothetical world, even though your 13 Pro Max or your 13 is still supported, but let's say that Apple cuts support for the 13 in the latest iOS. So now you go in the store and you need a carrier update, and for some reason, the carrier update won't push to iOS 26. It will only go to iOS 27. And also, this hypothetical is like in October, November. So you're like, well, I'm having cell problems. And they're like, oh, there was a carrier update to address that. But your phone's not eligible for the carrier update or the iOS 27 update. This is all hypothetical, mind you. So now the Apple service advisor, sales rep, genius, whatever you want to refer to them as, whatever nomenclature you want to use, they turn around and say, your device isn't qualifying anymore. How do you think that survey is going to go? Because now it looks like from the customer who doesn't have the tech experience, they're going to be like, they just tried to rope me into buying another phone. My phone works fine. It just won't take the stupid update. But like, otherwise it works perfectly fine. That's a problem. And to your question, the reason I bring all this up is because you said if he's a hardware guy, he might not want to deal with old devices. But then here's the other problem with that. The other problem with that line of thinking is then how does Apple Care work if you keep renewing it? Something to think about, because they're going to have to deal with some of these old devices. Ride says, got a MacBook Pro question. When I'm using the mouse pad, all of a sudden the cursor will dart to the bottom of the screen. Drives me nuts. Think I got to bring it to the Apple Store. You mean the trackpad? I'm assuming you mean the 2-finger track, like what I'm doing right here, like this thing, right? All of a sudden the cursor will dart to the bottom of the screen. Drives me nuts. I think you have a piece of software installed that's causing that. It could be an accessibility feature. Clean your trackpad is an option, as Duke says. Which I know, let me be clear, Duke might sound like he's being sarcastic, Ride. No, that's just Duke. Duke is being serious. And I would say the same thing. Maybe clean the trackpad. If you want to clean your keyboard, fun fact. Can I pull it up on here? It's pulling up on my prompter. One sec. There was a tool, if you've ever seen it, called Keyboard Clean Tool. And if I click this, I go to my overhead camera, you'll notice nothing is being affected, right? Like nothing, but I can turn it off and then my keyboard will reactivate. This tool, I saw Tom Buck talk about it, is absolutely insane for cleaning your keyboard. In terms of the trackpad, what I would advise is take off your Apple Watch and turn off Wi-Fi and then lock your screen. That can come in handy as you turn the machine off. Yeah, I love... so what I like to do is... Oh, wait, Duke, you know what that sounds like? It sounds like you have cats. I say that because, like, that could come in handy. So what I don't have cats. I don't have animals here. Not that I'm against them. I just don't have them. But what I like to do is I'll just screen brightness. If it will work. Did I disable my... Oh, I have it on the function. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay. So screen brightness all the way down, volume all the way down, and then I just kind of leave it running. But if you have animal friends, then the keyboard tool is dope. I would just turn your brightness down. Well, I'd be a little careful doing that because you could accidentally, like, set yourself up for a disaster, if that makes sense. Did I just lose my prompter? No, the brightness affects the prompter, apparently. That's interesting. Yeah, so I would definitely I would definitely look at this app. It's great for cleaning the keyboard. I don't know if I would use it in a long-term situation where I'm walking away from the computer for a while. To be honest, what I tend to do is just lock the keyboard. I don't have it on this profile, but I have a hotkey set up, like a hot corner. So like if I drag my cursor to the bottom right, my orientation is brutal. But yeah, if I drag my cursor to the bottom right, it'll just lock everything. You know, when I'm out at a coffee shop, it comes in handy. And then when I come back, I just move the trackpad. And because I'm wearing the watch, it just says, hey, unlock. As long as Wi-Fi and Bluetooth are on, it's good. Command Control Q. Yeah, you can do that too. Command Control Q. Yeah, there's shortcuts. I just like, for me, like when I walk away, I just grab the trackpad and throw it to the bottom right. And then the computer is like, Reese's Pieces, and it locks up, it goes into the screensaver, and then I can like go use the restroom or, you know, go up to the counter to get a drink, and nobody can just jump on and start opening up like my 1Password and stuff like that. So I do it that way. I got about 5 minutes left on stream because I do have to be somewhere in a little bit, but yeah, fun stream. Ride, thank you for coming in. I would, regarding your question, I'm going to go back to it. Sorry if I wasn't super helpful, but I'm going to go back to this. So let me reread it one more time. Got a MacBook Pro question. When I'm using the mouse pad, all of a sudden the cursor will dart to the bottom of the screen. Drives me nuts. Think I got to bring it to the Apple Store. Okay. First thing I would do, without totally giving anything away here. I can't show that on screen. Okay. Check your Bluetooth devices first. Make sure you don't have like a random mouse paired to it. You know. The cursor will dart to the bottom of the screen. I wonder if it's an accessibility setting. Can I pull this up without... Accessibility. Pointer control. Let's take a look here. Allows the pointer to be controlled by using the keyboard keys or number pad. Head pointer. Ignores built-in trackpad when mouse or wireless trackpad is present. That's an interesting one. Okay, and so there's that, but then there's also mouse and trackpad. Tap to click, more gestures. I don't know, maybe you're hitting a gesture by accident. Rotate, smart zoom. Thanks for the stream. Have to go now, but see you soon. Simulator, thank you so much. Like I said, I am jumping off soon, but I always love seeing you in here. I like seeing all of you in here. You guys are dope. Even Duke. I even like when Duke's in here because Duke always brings up good conversation. And we may not agree all the time, but like Duke's good people. But let me go back to this here. Yeah, so Ride, if I'm being completely honest, I think it might be a software setting, like some piece of software you're running for if you're doing video capture or something. Okay, wait, I know you use your MacBook. I don't know what your recording setup is like. I know you use Final Cut. When you use the prompter software, not Prompt Smart, if you're running OBS, I wonder if that messes with your cursor. It can. I would double check any software that tries to hide your cursor during like recording or anything like that. That's all I could think of, to be honest. I don't know. That I wish I had more info for you. It sounds like it's software related. I can't see it being hardware. And like Duke said, clean your trackpad. Here's the thing. Like my trackpad, and I'll embarrass myself for this. Why not? As you can see, my MacBook has seen better days. I try to clean it fairly often, but it gets gunked up because I take it out and about and all that. It's a very rare instance that a trackpad being a little dirty would cause it to like, you know, have your cursor go a specific way. It either sounds like something else is paired to it and it just moves. Like if you have like I said, animals in the house, like a cat or a dog, and they hit your mouse, that you don't realize is connected. So double check what's paired, right? But also any software that might be trying to hide your cursor, like an Apple shortcut or like I don't know, because I'm not totally sure of your workflow in terms of how you record your videos. But yeah, that's my thing on your issue. I wish I could help you further. I got nothing. Sorry. But yeah, I don't know if Jason Rule's still here. Maybe his phone died. Simulator already took off. Duke Seb's here. Who else? There was somebody else that was in earlier named Scrum or Scarum. And Riot, I said earlier as well. You guys were all great. Not the most exciting stream, but you know, in terms of trying to help out and trying to discuss the craziness of AI and Elgato, and you know, mentioning the person that I wasn't going to mention. Maybe I might clip that whole part out. I might go on the stream and clip it. I don't know. It's already out there. Who cares? I didn't want to mention that content creator's name because he was super good to me and he was nice, but you know, being nice to me but then showing different actions is kind of sus. So yeah, is what it is. But anyway, my name is Sean. I think stream is going to end now. I want to thank you all for coming in. And yeah, unless posted otherwise, we will be here each and every Sunday, unless I'll give notice if I can't. Or at least I'll put in a community post. So Duke, if you're paying attention, stream is on next Sunday, unless I put a community post up. I'm gonna start using the social accounts more, like my Instagram and my X/Twitter/ whatever. Even my TikTok account, which I never open. I opened it the other day and I'm like, oh, I have 72 unread. Nope. Like, I don't really go on TikTok. Yeah. And those messages were like, follow. And like, you know, other friends of mine who I know in IRL who are just sending me memes to that, which is fine, but I don't really use TikTok. Although I have to start using it if I want to take this content creation thing seriously. Anyway. Enough of my babbling. Thank you so much for coming out. My name is Sean. This has been Tech Mixer. I'm going to go toil over some house cleaning that is way overdue right now. So I'm going to go deal with that. But I will talk to you guys next Sunday, if not sooner, in a video or something. Thanks for coming out. I'm out. Peace.